Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about the new character that I've been playing. It's CocKnocker backer S tier. Um, this is a character that I've pretty much always wanted to make. Never got around to it. I've seen from the get-go, back when the skill tree looked a lot different from the start. Sorry. Back when the skill tree looked a lot different, there used to be a node called bullying here, and this was a knockback with a wand node. So that concept was really cool to me. There were two other knockback nodes somewhere over here, and it was just a really cool concept that I never got around to. I basically wanted to make a character that would knock back really, really well, and most of its damage would come from that. But there weren't very many options. Things like Ball Lightning or Glacial Cascade that we use in this build weren't available, right? So there really was no reason to do it. And then the other idea was that way long ago when Ball Lightning came into the game, I saw a GMP Ball Lightning Spectral Throw build, and I thought it looked amazing. So this idea basically connects the two, and this is the outcome. Very fun, not as laggy as expected, and yeah, I'll probably be playing this for a while. You know, it's a pretty cool build. But let's get into it. Oh, and I don't have Zoom Hack. It's just Rat's Nest. Let's start with that. But okay. So like I explained, this character relies on cast on crit with Ball Lightning and Glacial Cascade. Currently, I am only level 64, so I don't have any AoE nodes. I was fortunate enough to get a 6-link carcass for the first time in 2 years. You can check out my other YouTube videos to see how I got it. It's pretty crazy. And yeah, so we're cast on crit, we Spectral Throw, Ball Lightning, Glacial Cascade. I keep repeating myself. And we had to do a lot of tests, right? The biggest one was, is knockback actually worth it? And yes, it is worth it, in my opinion, with this build, although not having enough projectile speed is kind of a problem, but we can live with it. So we tested with fending, and fending didn't seem like it was enough, but it seemed like as we level, it might gain the potential of actually being good. And I was also using a knockback gem leveling up instead of the life leech gem, right? This is to protect us from reflect because we have Volpact with the build. So we used the knockback gem, and it was actually too much. We knocked back so much that we reduced our damage. Without the projectile speed, we can't really deal damage to mobs efficiently. And also, I don't have any AoE right now. The plan later on is to pick up these AoE nodes, and like I said, Carcass Jack. So, the knockback gem, I believe, is not worth it. The main idea behind this is that even though we only have, what is this, like 18% chance to knock back, which is not a lot, Ball Lightning hits multiple times and benefits from the knockback, and then Glacial Cascade also hits multiple times and benefits from the knockback, as in as the mobs get knocked back, they get dealt more and more damage. And the reason why we're using Spectral Throw over something like Kinetic Blast or Barrage, which some people, would choose, is because while Ball Lightning on a LMP or GMP setup does not deal additional damage out of the balls, it's just a single ball traveling. So if you want AoE increase, then by all means use it. But if you don't have enough damage, you would never use it, right? You would use just one ball. But with this build, the way it works, the Ball Lightning actually not only does it hit multiple, many times, I think it's like 0.2 or 0.25 a second, the additional balls still attack the mob, so to say. They don't deal damage, but they still attack it, resulting in the knockback. So that's a really cool concept. That's the thing what makes us use GMP. LMP might be better in the future. I don't know how much damage I'm going to be doing. Like I said, there's still a lot to test. I'm very happy that I don't have to use a knockback gem because it allows us to survive Reflect a lot easier. I think with a Ziri's Promise, without this skill gem, it would be enough, but yeah. Also, I probably shouldn't be using Glacial Cascade right now. Like I said, I don't have enough AoE, so Glacial Cascade is kind of mediocre single target. Probably something like Freeze Pulse would be better, but I simply, I kind of didn't anticipate it, so this is what we're using. I have a level 44 dagger or 43 dagger. It's it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The crit roll is not so good. And, you can definitely get better rolls later on, but for a leveling dagger, I think this is amazing. Currently, I have 66.7% chance to crit. I still have to pick up this crit and accuracy, and yeah. That's pretty much it. Also, currently I'm using an Uncle's Harmony, which greatly reduces my damage, but it gives me a lot of crit chance. Sadly, this is kind of a necessity earlier on. I'm getting to the point where I can replace it, but it's still not exactly there. A Rat's Nest, kind of a softcore item, but honestly, if you look at it, it's pretty freaking good. Like, Rat's Nest is pretty freaking amazing. 15 attack speed, that's already huge. 650 evasion, that's pretty big. My roll is pretty small. It goes up to 75 global crit chance. This is global crit chance, so it also affects our spells, which is incredibly important. So that's amazing. Rarity goes up to 25 rarity, very helpful. Movement speed, huge, completely huge, right? And reduced character size. So when you think about it, the only downside is lack of life, but the upsides are so, like, there's so many upsides to it. Like, it's a really, I feel like on an invasion based build, it's a really freaking good item. Some random shield, very random boots, nice belt, random gloves, and yeah, just random gear to cap out my resist right now. And also I'm using a tabula rasa, which, like I said, is going to be replaced by this. My life is kind of low, not because the end game build gets not a lot of life, and simply because I rushed the crit, because I hate leveling custom crit builds, because it just takes too long. But I've actually respect at 43 using this weapon, and it was, from the get-go, it was pretty amazing. I was expecting to to take a really long time to level, but it's actually very good. Around level 40, when you can get that crit, it's very good. Currently, you have a couple endpoints that are not very well spent. I mean, we will be traveling to Art of the Gladiator. This is not necessary, and then I probably won't be getting Charisma because we don't need an additional Aura or Herald or anything. So this is actually how much mana we're gonna have, except that obviously our reduced manas are going to be getting more and more levels. Thinking about double curse, but not sure. And yeah, that's pretty much it. When it comes to the skill tree, we pick up Volpack, we pick up Fending, those are our main nodes. On the way, Eagle Eye, very good. Berserking, Art of the Gladiator, so you can see most of the traveling points are implemented, right? We're getting the really juicy stuff, so, by level 80, this character should look entirely different. Later on, I'll be getting the AoE nodes. All this life we will be getting. Like I said, by no means this is a YOLO build. It's actually going to have around 180, 190% life around level 90, and later on from that point we still will be getting life nodes. So that's very good. Obviously we're using acrobatics, phase acrobatics. We are running Grace. We travel through evasion nodes. We will be picking up these evasion nodes. A lot of evasion, right? What's kind of up to you, I think, is this is dependent on how the damage is going to turn out end game. I'm not sure if Shadow wasn't a better start. I kind of went YOLO with the attack speed here. I think Shadow might have been better, but glacial cascade, and I didn't think that elemental nodes are going to be that good. So we'll see. I'll still try and figure these things out. The possibilities, there were so many tests with this build. The possibilities are really endless. I thought CI won't be possible at all, maybe because of the mana, but no, mana will be easy as long as we get like 2% mana leech. Even the physical damage from the dagger is going to be enough, because on a 6-link, our Spectral costs only 21 mana, and we use Assassin's Mark, so we leech, or we get mana on kill, and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, Charisma, because of that, is not a necessity. Trickery is helpful, obviously. Blood Siphon, very good. All this attack speed that we can get here is also very cool. Sniper is, I don't think, worth it, but who knows, so I might take it in the future. The downside of projectile speed is that it will affect our ball lightning. There's really nothing to separate the Spectral from the ball lightning. So, you know, projectile speed on Ball Lightning, you might think that's a severe downside unless we do enough damage, but like I said, I don't know yet. But having projectile speed on Spectral is a humongous boost for the skill. So I haven't decided yet. We might get it, we might not. We might change this pathing, you know. And yeah. Night Stalker, pretty basic dagger nodes. Depth Perception, pretty basic. Like I've explained, we travel over here. Acrobatics, Phase Acro, Heart Seeker, very huge node for damage increase. And we get down here to Ondars, which is probably our last travel points. As I can see, obviously Herbalism, and we pick up all these life nodes, everything we just get. We're kind of forced to use Volpact, although I don't think we're going to be forced to use the Life Leech Gem as long as you use it at Zeri's Promise. But not 100% on that, so no promises. This might need a 6 link for endgame. Maybe not. Maybe, you know, you can remove Glacial Cascade is the option if you can get a proper single target, because the Ball Lightning seems to deal enough AoE damage. It's just a single target that it has a problem with. So I think you can make this work for a 5 link setup, but no promises. If you stay tuned for the build, you know, I'll try and upload more videos and you know, spread more knowledge about this thing, because it's pretty cool, you know. Like I said, it connects a couple builds and it makes for something really fun. So we're gonna have to test it out. Obviously, I haven't done much progression. I actually don't know where I should go. Sure. Serious Sarn is kind of crappy because I messed up my gems. As you can see, I have empty sockets and stuff like that, so I can't really sustain my power charges too well right now because it's not connected to Herald of Ice. This is something that people tend to not appreciate enough. Having a Curse and Hit Herald of Ice makes a humongous difference, especially with a build that gets a little bit of AoE, and on builds that move like outwards, so to say, like Spectral Throw or Glacial Cascade or Ball Lightning or Ground Slam, because as the first mob freezes and explodes, the mobs behind it get cursed as well. So Herald of Thunder only affects the first mob, maybe a couple others if you're lucky for them to survive long enough. You know, Herald of Ice affects everything, always. Herald of Thunder is only for the initial charges, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And since I have a +2, I have a Flame Blast just for single target, but I've actually never used it, so it's not a necessity. And yeah, keep in mind, I'm still using actually I have to reduce my volume. I'm still using the amulet, so my damage is low compared to what it's going to be in the future. But this is just to give you guys an idea about the build if you're interested, if you want to get the character started. If you don't care about the progression and how it might look in game, you just want to check it out right now. Well, this is it, right? Pretty freaking cool. Well, pretty unfortunate, no crits. Like I said, the single target actually works pretty well. So all we do is knock back. Actually, the only problem is that we sometimes run because I don't have that leech yet. So if we don't kill something, Assassin's Mark doesn't give us mana, so we can't. We just don't have mana to deal damage to mobs right now. But that's entirely my fault. This is something easily fixable by, you know, small amounts of gear. And yeah, I kind of chose to show you a GMP setup, but you know, LMP might be better for you leveling. LMP might be better end game. Yeah, I'm just, as usual, repeating myself a lot. I'll show you one more run. That's probably gonna be it. There we go. Reflect, huge reflect, double reflect. Right, we're completely fine against this because of Volpact. Actually, that's a triple reflect. Holy, triple reflect with elemental weakness. That's the most mind-blowing thing ever. Huh, I was actually wondering how much damage I'm gonna deal. Well, it doesn't matter. Single target, completely fixable. By either a different setup or having mana. What's the another cool thing about this is that, You know how in those first ST videos, GGG really explained how you can throw STs and then move on to the next pack, and as they fly back, they're gonna do something? Well, with this build, it actually is amazing. Like, you can just throw it, get to the next pack, and keep running because, you know, the balls kill everything. So, that's really very cool. Like here, you see, I keep on casting even though I'm not attacking, and it makes for a lot of balls, man. If you don't like balls, well, you're just weird. But yeah, this is pretty much it. I just wanted to give you this first look. A lot of people have been asking for some sort of description of the build, so that's what I'm doing. I'll continue to level the build on the stream, so if you want to ask any questions, if you feel like, you know, you could maybe throw in some feedback, maybe you have some cool ideas about it, maybe give me some advice, I'll gladly accept it, because it's a really fun build and I'd like to see it grow. So I think that's pretty much it. I'll link the pathing in the description of the stream, although it might change, just keep that in mind, it might change, but for now it seems pretty final. We'll see how it turns out endgame. We'll see if Scion is the better decision. We're just gonna have to wait and see as I level the character. So, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope to see you guys on the live stream, and yeah, good luck, have fun. Bye!